Yeah. 901 Shelby Drive, look alive, niggas came up on this side.
Thanks for joining us. Get ready for the NBA here on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's the San Antonio.
We make it cool to be.
And welcome everyone to another presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Steve Kerr. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. First for the Spurs, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the 4 spot. And for Miami, Chalmers and D-Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. Then it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the 4 slot.
Well, Miami stormed through the regular season and were viewed as the clear-cut favorites to come out of the East, but it was not as easy as expected. After sweeping Milwaukee, the Bulls gave them a scare, then the Pacers really took them deep, all the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Miami shooting their first free throw of the game here. Free throw good, LeBron. And for the Heat, the Pacers were their first real test, it seemed, and they had to survive a win or go home against them. It almost seemed, Clark, to take away any momentum they might have had when they went up against the Spurs in the finals.
You know, it's interesting. When I think of momentum in the playoffs, it doesn't carry over from game to game or series to series. I think each game, Kevin, is really an entity in and of itself. That said, Miami found a way, despite being pushed by the Pacers and being pushed by the Spurs, both to Game 7. It came down to LeBron James's brilliance, but also the hot shooting of a complimentary role-playing winner, Shane Battier.
To the inside, here's Leonard. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
Nice pass. He got the ball right into his teammate's shooting pocket, on time and on target.
For Miami, they've gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. Wade misses.
Well, if you're going to learn from someone, you might as well take some lessons from Tim Duncan. That's what Thiago Splitter has done in San Antonio, really kind of growing up under the tutelage of one of the great players of all time.
First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Green passes to Parker, and Mario Chalmers gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And Splitter taken 28 by the Spurs way back in the 2007 draft, but they had to wait 3 seasons, Clark, for him to come over from Spain. And as Ray Popovich was saying just this past season, he's finally showing what he can do because he's been healthy.
Yeah, agreed, Kevin, and I think it was a wait worth making, quite honestly. I mean, one of the premier backup centers in the NBA the last 3 seasons, and he earned himself a nice payday with his new contract, too.
Parker dishes to Green. Cannot hit. Nice D from Haslam.
He was right there, but the defensive pressure forced that miss.
Well contested. That really made it a tough shot.
Kevin, it seems like scoring on the low post is kind of a lost art these days, but this guy can do it. I mean, he can get down on the block, get position, and he's got some skills to get the ball in the basket from that position.
And one other thing about him that you shouldn't fail to appreciate is the presence and impact he has defensively. He can lock you up and wear you down, and that effect really carries over to the rest of the guys.
And what an amazing run it was for the Spurs last year. in the postseason. You know, swept the Lakers, survived Golden State, and then dismantled Memphis on their way to the NBA Finals. And then, of course, were seconds away from another championship banner.
Well done again. He doesn't have the same problems at the line that plague some of the NBA's other big men.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Damon Bruce, and this is the NBA on 2K Sports.
Coming to you live on 2K Sports, this is the NBA. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan alongside my broadcast. The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the Spurs, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the 4 spot. And for the Heat, Chalmers and D-Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. Then it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the 4. And Duncan gets it to go in.
That's an efficient start for them offensively, working it inside for the easy 2 points.
Yeah, Clark, I think they can really attack this club in the paint. That's where they can win this game if they dominate there.
Well, LeBron James was probably his best season statistically a year ago. I don't think there's any question about it, guys. I mean, certainly it was his most efficient offensive season. I mean, he had career highs of 56% shooting from the floor and 41% from long range. I don't know if we've seen a player of his size put together those kinds of numbers with the types of shots that he takes. I mean, just absolutely stunning what he did in terms of his efficiency last season.
Free throw good, LeBron. And for LeBron James this season before last, he really focused on scoring in the post. You know, Steve, using his size and strength.
And we've seen his field goal percentage climb as a result. The low post work, I think the selection, too. He shoots fewer three-pointers, but a higher percentage. So now, you know, how do you guard the guy? He's got everything in the package.
And good on a second, so he makes them both.
You know, the Spurs really have a cohesive culture, and part of that is something that Greg Popovich has been able to do, and that's being able to join guys together that normally might not hang out. For instance, you had Matt Bonner taking Steven Jackson out to a Coldplay concert last season. One way to help guys get to know each other off the court, and it helps them on the court.
A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. And the foul on Dwayne Wade. That's his first foul. And back to Popovich and the Spurs, he really makes a point of getting to know his players and have them get to know one another.
That's right, Kevin. He likes to have his players have a sense of perspective about the world. He wants them to know that there are other things going on besides the NBA. In fact, back in 2012, he had the players watching the presidential debates together. You know, when he's the screener in the pick and roll, which he often is, it's a play that works to perfection for this club because of just his ability to read defenses.
Steve, you can attribute that to his timing. I mean, he knows exactly when to roll towards the bucket. He just has a nice feel and sense of how to run that play. Only 3 teams in the entire Eastern Conference had a better than 500 record against the West, and no surprise the Heat were one of those 3, and they were dominant against Western Conference opponents all year long.
and he can't hit the second. Mark, adding on to what you were saying about the Heat versus the West, they ended up 25-5, which is incredible, Steve, given how many tough teams that are in the Western Conference.
It's amazing, Kevin. They had a better record against the West than they did against the East in terms of their winning percentage. So I think that speaks to just how motivated Miami was when they went out on the road to the West in particular to really show everybody how good they were.
Shane Battier is checked in for Miami.
Well, I tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
Well, that's the key to basketball. Get the ball inside, into the paint, either with a pass or with penetration.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Greg Popovich had a few moments to share with me. We talked about Chris Bosh, and he talked about the skill set and what makes him so difficult to guard. He told me he's very slow.
Thanks for joining us. Get ready for the NBA here on 2K Sports.
Welcome, everyone. This is the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, ready to bring you all the action along with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. A quick check now at the starting five for both teams. First for the Spurs, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the 4. And for Miami, Chalmers and D-Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. And it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the power forward. And so it's the Heat getting on the board first. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Got a piece of it. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession.
Maybe a low percentage pass, but it still nearly got through.
I like it, though. I mean, it's an aggressive play. Heads up defending to deflect it away.
Here's Green, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off his shot. 24-second violation. San Antonio on defense. Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. And what'd you find out, Doris?
I asked him about how his team was going to handle the veterans of the Spurs, and he said there really isn't a whole lot that Duncan and them haven't seen, so you can't surprise them one way or another. Really, it comes down to us being as careful with the ball as they are and being efficient in our possessions. Sounds simple enough, gentlemen.
All right, Doris. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. Here's Parker. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Boy, that was impressive. Major height disadvantage, but he still got the shot up over his man.
Well, he's got the poise to handle any matchup, and he's not easily intimidated. You could see that there.
You know, he's not the most flashy point guard out there, and you don't hear his name when people talk about the best point guards in the game, but I think Parker is one of the best in the business when it comes right down to it. He's able to do so many things out there for you, and just had a dominant season for the Spurs a year ago.
Steve, Parker's fearlessness going to the hoop is what makes him such a devastating player in crunch time. Often you'll see him go right into a bigger guy, take the contact, and still find a way to finish the play.
About a minute played so far here in the first. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for one.
Hey, last season Chalmers missed a game-winning shot. That happens to a lot of guys in this league, but what he did the next game is of note. He made 10 threes, and arguably his best game ever, as he set a Miami Heat team record for makes beyond the arc.
And Mario Chalmers grew up in Alaska. Not too many NBA players hailing from up there, taken with the 34th pick back in 08.
He's played his entire career with the Heat, and really it was a perfect situation for him when LeBron arrived, because he's a kind of a combo guard. He plays the point, but he's an excellent spot-up shooter, so he can play off of LeBron and Wade quite well.
Now split it. Following the miss by Chris Bosh from deep. Parker drives in. A reverse. And it's Haslam with the rebound.
That's not an opportunity he fails to convert very often.
James. It's rebounded by Leonard.
You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
You know, part of being a championship team is having the talent first and foremost, but then managing the minutes of that talent. The Heat, I thought, did a nice job monitoring the minutes of the big three throughout the season and playoffs last year.
The dish to Haslam. Miami no good on that time either. For San Antonio, they've gotten just 3 of their first 9 shots to go down in this game. Parker kicks to Leonard. Off target from three-point range. As you said, Clark, the big three in their prime, but really, you want them to just get their work in during the season, not exhaust themselves before they make it to the playoffs.
I thought, Kevin, along those lines, I thought by the end of last season, Miami was exhausted. And once you try to win a 3rd title in a row, the emotional fatigue and exhaustion really becomes a factor. So this is going to be interesting to watch all year.